Danny, first loss of the season. Where do you start to break that game down?
Yeah, first loss of the season. I think it's a very disappointing one for us. How do I break it down? I look at the game and moments of lapses of what cost us today. We've had total dominance of the football match, but I think a slow start cost us for the first goal, and then switching off towards the end when, I think a lot of us were disappointed to be taking a point away, and we end up conceding 90 plus 3 minutes. Very disappointing day here today.
Is it one of them stories again where just not ruthless enough for how many entries in the box and all them kind of stats you can bring up, but we seem to create so much, but arguably last 2 games we've only scored 2 penalties when you look at it?
Yeah, 100%. For the attacking players we've got, you speak to the opposition, we create number of chances, and it's how many of those we're converting. So that's definitely a criticism we have to level at our play really at the moment. We have to be more ruthless. We have to be killing teams off when we having total dominance of the football match. To come here today, I think the stats were, we had 23 attempts on goal today, and all we've got to show for it is a penalty, Billy Key penalty. And I think if you look back to Tuesday night, it was a similar story. We're creating a hell of a lot of chances, but we're not converting them. And then today, that's what's really cost us, to be honest.
And do you think we'll need to find a bit of character now? Because maybe last season we went 8 games unbeaten and seemed everything we touched kind of went in, didn't we? Had some big wins, including against these. Is it time to show a bit of character now? It's our first loss in 11 games if you count last season.
Yeah, definitely. I think these are the occasions when you find out really about players, and if you were to ask me about our group, I've got 100% belief that we'll bounce back from this. But it's about the lads coming back together, working hard, doing the ugly stuff in games. We've spoke about it time and time again. You've got to do the ugly stuff, but on the flip side, we've got to be more ruthless, and that's what it boils down to. I think the players are big enough, and there's enough togetherness in the camp for us to, bounce back from a minor blip. But it is hard to take. It's hard to take to come to a place like Rushden. Fair play to them. They had a game plan set up. They were quite direct in the way they played, dangerous from set pieces, but we've got to be able to deal with that, and if it gets to a point in the game where we need to see it out, then we need to be secure enough at the back to be able to deal with that, and that's the disappointing thing for us today.
And I just said their first loss in 11 league games, including last season. Yeah. What was said in there in the polite terms by yourself and Adam?
Yeah, you don't really want to know what was said in there, but the boys, we let them know in no uncertain terms that that's not good enough. We all have to take responsibility together. Being more ruthless is, as we have to look at that as much as we do the goals we've conceded, because as a team, if we are, we play with a lot of purpose, we play with a lot of flair, but you've got to have something to show for that, otherwise it counts for nothing.
And we now have a week off until we have a double header at home against Needham Market and then local rivals Barwell, so a big weekend ahead next week.
Yeah, so we've got a week of training ahead of us now, which will set up and prepare for the upcoming games. But yeah, that weekend, that bank holiday weekend now becomes a very big weekend, but we'll regroup, we'll get back together, and we'll be back next weekend ready for Needham Market.